team that has a lot of talent here. You mentioned it. You said Spree and Logix. These are certainly two guys that you got to look out for. Logix, Tracer, many say some of the best.
Probably one of the best in Europe. I mean, there's mistakes, there's Valitage, there's a lot of good Tracers, but Logix is one to watch out for sure. I mean, this guy just tore it up in Contenders Season 1, so should look out for him.
I'm excited to see him play. Zoe, to get your thoughts on the UK side here, they have a threat that they have to deal with, especially with Logix on that Tracer.
Yeah, but if you're looking at the UK lineup here, they also have Boombox, who is the doom of every Tracer. Yeah. Like, no Tracer's going to have a good time against him. So I'm sure they feel pretty confident. And, of course, the whole rest of their lineup, they're not, let's go with veterans. They know what they're doing.
Let's go with that what they're doing. I totally agree with you there, Zoe. All right, guys, it's time to get into the game as we embark on our second group here in Los Angeles. It's going to be the United Kingdom versus Belgium. Send it over to your commentators, ZP and Hexagrams.
Thank you, Golden Boy. We are here at the third set of the day. I'm ZP, rejoined here once more by Hex. And Hex, we have some very notable players on these teams.
The desk touched on it, but I think both of these teams are really centered around one strategy. Both these teams know where their bread is buttered. And now on the side of Belgium, it's going to be Logix. You know me, I'm a huge fan of Tracer, our favorite British time traveler, or as Monty would correct, space traveler, I suppose. But I think he might be one of the best Tracers in the entire tournament that we have here. And that says a lot when you've got Bacon Jack and Sinatra. But what Logix does so well, he hits all his pulse bombs. The other side, you've got Boombox.
Boombox, you want to talk about a Zenyatta that has made his name as one of the highest impact Zenyatas in the game. I think I might have spotted Doa Heggs at background some popcorn because he is a hero and inspiration to Zenyatta players across the world. And why is that? Boombox, a player known for getting key pickoffs early on in fights and really being the heart of team lineups he's been on. So there's a lot of power on this UK squad.
And everyone knows, it's no secret that both of these teams have their strategies around those star players who both broke out in Contender Season 0. When we talked about Boombox to Team UK, they said, we know that they're coming after Boombox. We know that's going to happen. We have plans to deal with that. They mentioned it to me like, we're going to be a Roman army. We're going to retreat. There's going to be a phalanx around Boombox. We're going to use him as bait, and we're going to crush them when they go for it.
But the key here is that the United Kingdom, they've played together quite a bit as a team. We know that they were able to get a lot of prep in prior to this tournament, and I got to tell you, the plan of going against Boombox, not a unique plan. It's something that they should be well prepared for.
Well, Belgium had a little bit of hard time getting as much practice in as they wanted, so they're just going to have to rely on raw mechanics, and now they're going to rely on some machinery. We're on Numbani, and we've got a Torb on the field.
Torb is here. So Aardvark will be on the route here for Belgium. Of course, they're going to be hoping that that turret buys them a little bit of breathing room. Meanwhile, United Kingdom right now, Hex, surveying the field, looking for their opportunity to dive right in.
Well, United Kingdom, this is their map choice, and they said, we will always choose Numbani if we get hybrid. They really like this map. They've got a plan for it. The dive does come in up over top, and then they take the low ground, but that turret not been dealt with, and 8box able to take down Mikey.
Mikey was not expecting that early on, and though UK is able to get one early kill, Belgium is withstanding very well right now. They're very high on HP. They're not really getting poked down much at all, and now they're starting to flush the UK out of their spawn area, and it's Logix being a surgeon in the back, getting what he needs to, and Cruz just can't find anything.
Logix doing what Logix does right there, able to take down 2 quick kills. Well, it's going to be very important to watch him as he gets 12 more percent. What I said, he gets more kills with Pulse Bomb than nearly any other Tracer. High-level Torb play, though, they're moving the turret around.
One important thing to note here is that Senpai was a little bit too far out. Boombox demeched him before this fight, so there is a window right now for the UK to go back in. Boombox already has a Transcendence up. Cruz and Boombox can combine their powers. They're going to do just that. Here comes Cruz, slicing his way in. It's a double kill for Cruz early on, and he is cutting to ribbons, this Belgium team.
Well, that is one way to end a fight before it starts. 4 eliminations from that Dragon Blade Cruz. You know, a former Lucio now flexing his muscle on everyone's favorite Cyber Ninja. 4 huge kills. That's going to be first point easily.
Very good stuff coming out here from the UK. They recover. And here's the important thing. Boombox didn't even need to use his Transcendence. Cruz just says, nah, hold that. I got this, fam.
Absolutely, he's able to get it. Sorry, he threw me off with the fam. First the dabbing, now the fam. I don't know where I am right now. Well, they're going to poke a little bit further forward. This is a smart thing to do once you take first. Get the free push behind. Of course, you leave your Lucio back on cart duty, and you take the fight up front around the next bend where you want it.
UK right now looking for their opportunity. Spree, though, gets down Mikey early on, and Mikey, he's been aggressing in the Belgium, getting picked off early in these fights, and that's what's been giving Belgium some degree of stability. That's what hurt the UK on their first push, and now Belgium, trying to make the most of it, they force out the Transcendence from the UK.
He's going to use it now, and they're going to double down. Here comes that sound barrier, too, to give it both support ultimates, and they are making the best of it, though. Once you use those support ultimates, you want to convert them into kills somehow. They are able to pick up 3 very quickly. Logic strikes back with a pulse bomb onto Boombox. That micro battle's been going on all day, but it's not going to be enough. It looks like free push towards second.
Boombox might have died there, but he was a valiant martyr indeed. His Transcendence kept the UK alive against the defensive aggression coming from Belgium. They take the fight cleanly, and now they get to roll casually here to the point. Belgium cannot find a chance to contest.
Part of the Boombox bait strat is they're not always going to fall back and protect him. If they see a couple people diving in, they will take the opportunity to send their own people forward and take them down as well. That's what happened in that fight.
Next fight right now, rolling right your way. United Kingdom, they have a Dragon Blade on deck. Cruz was a surgeon earlier in the day, and he's going to be one once more. Diving right in, looking for the soldier. Gets free. Now on the hunt for more. Willing to sell for just a soldier kill, but the way has been cleared. United Kingdom getting through Belgium here so far, but they start losing people into the backline. Brudor holding strong and giving Belgium a little bit of stability.
They were able to use the Transcend and get a little bit out of there, but the trades are not coming quick enough for them as the offense continues to aggress. Mikey's going to come in and atone for past sins, past dying early in fights, able to get on the cleanup there. And though the stall is here a little bit late, they're going to have to back out. One more defensive stand for Belgium incoming.
Now, the interesting thing is that this is the point in the Nabani where defenses oftentimes will hold and make up for lost time. Belgium does have a good tool here in Sound Barrier that they can come out with. It's probably going to be a trade between Barrier versus Transcendence, but this is difficult here for Belgium. They need to hold strong.
It is a spot, but generally you want to hold at the top of the hill, and the card's already gotten past there. The Primal Rage comes in, is going to force out a Transcend at the very least, so now the offense is going to turn it around and get back in. Cruz has blade up.
Cruz with the blade, looking for blood once more, into the back, gets one. Both supports down right now for the Belgium defense. A very good engagement coming in here from the UK. Nothing too flashy, but effective. Belgium will be pushed to the limit as they try and come back to defend this.
Going to drop a self-destruct, try to get people off guard. It's a really great sign for the UK that Mikey has come alive. We had some questions about his Tracer play. Of course, a phenomenal Pharah player, but his Tracer play the first couple fights, he died first. The last couple fights, he has been cleaning up.
Mikey has definitely had a redemption story, but Belgium, one last attempt to defend here. Spree holding on to attack visor, going to be looking for a way in. Self-destruct, moving right in for the UK. Clearing out space. United Kingdom already at the first kill. Spree, attack visor into the back line, looking for anything right now, not really converting as much as he would like, and the pressure from the UK right now is very much intense.
It's just too much for Belgium to handle. They've been out here stalling on the card, but they haven't really won a fight this entire map, and now it's all over for the side of the offense. United Kingdom finishing Numbani in a pretty blazing time. Numbani's a map that you don't always even see finished, and to finish with over 2.5 on the clock.
So I do believe Numbani was the pick of the United Kingdom here, and something that's worth noting is that you take a look at players like Boombox and Cruz, well, you do have that legacy going from Reunited way back in the day where that core of players,
right.
They really like Numbani.
Yeah, that was the first Numbani team. When even talking to UK though, we asked them, like, what maps do you like on this mode, which on that mode, and they were kind of, oh, we like this one, we like that one. When we got to Hybrid, they said Numbani. We will always pick Numbani. Numbani is our home and favorite map, and you can see why right there. It's really, they didn't struggle at all on any section of it, because even pushing up that hill can stop the best of teams, and they flew right up it.
So for the United Kingdom, a team that certainly came in with quite a bit of swagger, very confident in themselves, they are showing to us perhaps why. Meanwhile, we take a look at Belgium, where Belgium came out a little bit weaker than they would have liked. What do you think we have to see more of here from Belgium as we go to the next round of the Bonnie to potentially swing this back in their favor?
I'd like to see more of the DPS playing a little bit together. It felt like Logix was throwing in pulse bombs after the fight was already over. You'd get a kill, but what's the point? Again, it's just cohesiveness on the team. We're seeing something interesting here. I actually like this as a switch up because a lot of teams outside of North America don't deal with Sky threats very well. They don't deal with Pharah and Mercy. So the UK knows this. They know that they personally don't deal with Pharah and Mercy well, so why not throw it at the team to see what sticks?
I'm always a fan of just attempting the Pharah Mercy to see if the other team can beat it. It's
right.
One of the compositions in Overwatch that if a team can deal with it well, maybe you don't want to go for it. It really depends on the strength of your Pharah Mercy, but sometimes it can be a win card against teams that just are not prepared from threats for the sky. So for Belgium to come out here and open up with this Pharah Mercy combo, I am completely okay with that.
It's triple DPS as well, so it's going to be a lot of pressure on Brudor to hold the ground and sustain there as well. And they also know it's a good read on UK because Cruz is only going to play Genji. You know, he's not going to switch over to a 76 or something. So see if you can force their composition to maybe rotate something. Already damaged Boosted Rockets coming up over the top, and that is a free kill onto Reels to start it off.
A great support pickoff early on here from Belgium. That's going to let them be way more aggressive. They're going to have way more healing support on their side, and the UK must strike back soon. And down goes Boombox. Very good stuff from Belgium. And even though they suffer some losses of their own, even though Bode is out of the fight, this is a good start for Belgium.
Yeah, they need to get in here and take advantage of this, but the respawns are going to be so much better for the defense, so much closer. But Logic's on the cleanup, is able to take down Smex and the other tank as well. Just talk about the order of operations that happened there. Able to take down those Reels first on the Lucio means Boombox is all alone up there. He's got no peel, no support. They take down Boombox next. When you lose both supports to start out a fight, that fight is very difficult to pull back.
And don't forget that you have Logix on this Belgium side. Spree opened the door, Logix slammed it right in the UK's face right after. And the reason is that Tracer is so good at cleanup. Once you have an advantage, it's difficult to apply pressure on Tracer and stop her from doing what she wants to do.
And look, speaking of not doing what you want to do, United Kingdoms has to come off the Genji. Cruz is forced to go into the 76 because this pharmacy threat is so tough in the sky. They need Boombox and Cruz to combine on it. That's a nice TVT to start it out. Tracer versus Tracer, Mikey wins it against Logix.
Belgium knows how important Logix is to their ability to win fights. And you see, as soon as he died to Mikey, Belgium, they go in full retreat. They know they don't want to take that fight right there, especially not when the respawns are so close. They're going to wait for a full 6, but going to the next fight, they have Resurrection on deck and a barrage. So if Logix can buy a little bit of a distraction, there's a lot of room for Belgium to simply sweep through the UK going into this next engagement.
It's time to be aggressive because you have good DPS ultimates available and you have the Resurrection. You have the second life as long as Boss is still alive. Spree finds himself domed into the shield there, takes himself out, and then Ambitious Blade gets punished, Senpai down, and that did not go well for them at all. Time to reset.
No, not in the least. When you open things up as a Pharah by picking yourself, that's not how you want things to go down. To Belgium's credit, they hold on to their ultimates. They don't really throw good money after bad there. They still have plenty of power going into this next fight. However, the UK's had some time to reestablish their forces.
And the Blade may have looked a little questionable, but I think they already knew they wanted to switch off and add a little more sustain. So Senpai is going to switch over to the D.Va instead. They need more tanks here. The dive on a Boombox comes in.
Brudor right now going in saying, throw the orbs at me now. Has none of Boombox's shenanigans. He's going to take him down immediately. A great opening engage here from Belgium. We'll see if they can finish it strong.
So this is the UK strat of Boombox gets dived on, counter dive. We'll see if they can convert it into eliminations. They have not done so far. Now with Cruz out of the fight, that is a lot of hit scan power out of it. They're not going to be able to deal effectively with the Pharah, and she should be able to clean up.
Very good cleanup coming out here from Belgium, but the United Kingdom also not falling quickly in turn. For winning this fight as decisively as Belgium has, the payload took a while to get moving. This will give the UK a little bit of an opportunity to come back in here and potentially mount a defense. It's going to be difficult given the resources they have, but still very possible.
Belgium used pretty much everything that they had there to finish that fight in round second corner. They will, again, still have the Resurrection. So in my opinion, should be as aggressive as possible, all fight in the same area. Get some trades, and then turn it into a 6v4 by bringing your team back to life.
Well, here comes Bear from the UK as they continue here to move in. Meanwhile, Belgium trying to make this attack their own. Spree in the air, nothing on him as he finds Reels again. The skies are Spree's, and he is capitalizing with authority.
Transcendence comes out a bit late there too, had already gone down. Justice reigns from above, and to the surprise of almost everyone, he's able to finish that ultimate out of the skies, and Spree has been a problem for them. They haven't had the answer. Even though Bode goes down, this fight is all in favor of Belgium.
And part of what's giving Spree the room to work with here is that Logix is an absolutely scary Tracer. If he's in your back line, you have to give him respect. But if you're giving him respect, you're not looking to the skies, and that is a big reason why Spree had so much room to work with.
You need two pieces to take out the two pieces of the Pharah and the Mercy, and they've been doing such a good job of either taking out Boombox or Cruz, and neither of them can do it alone.
Logic's fight here underway. Logic's into the back line. Spree still in the skies. Senpai can get debacked here early on, but Brudor again going for supports with Primal Rage, giving Belgium a chance here as they go through one of the hardest points in the map for an offense, and they're trading out reasonably well, and that resurrection could be the key.
Beautiful tempo res there. They're able to take down Cruz, and that's going to give Spree all the room he needs, although Spree does go down. Apparently Boombox can do it alone for the few cents it probably can right there. That's going to really slow them down. That's been their big threat, and it's not just the Logics, and it's not just Spree, but they have to work in concert. I hit a rocket, and Logix is there to go finish it.
The other problem here, too, is that even though the Pharaohs serve the ball on points A and points B, the final point here in the body is not very Pharaoh friendly. It's hard to get in position. There's a lot of ways that you can be dealt with. And Spree, to this point, that is why he's swapping out to 76. The era of Pharaoh is over. Now we'll see if they can do this a little bit more straight up.
Well, it also allows Bo to switch over off of Mercy onto the Zenyatta, or a much more ground-based composition. Now, what you're giving up there, of course, you saw Spree switch off, and after using an ultimate, you're giving up ultimate advantages. So the Transcend is going to be later. Your Tactical Visor is going to be later. You almost need a fight where you're not going to use ults just to try to pull even on those abilities.
So for now, Belgium, with the ultimate disadvantage, moving in, looking for an early pickoff that could put this fight in their favor, despite the fact that they are suffering from those last switch-offs. Bod looking for early kills here. Moving in and around, supporting his team from the back. And it's Logix who breaks it wide open. D-backs the Diva, takes down Reels, and now Belgium has opened the door.
Logic's going to get the credit for that, but it was a nice self-destruct over the top. But speaking of that, on the other side, it is Mikey matching him every step of the way. They also cash in on the Tactical Visor from Cruz, and it will push them all the way back. Nice counterplay from the United Kingdom.
Now we are down to our final minute and 30 here in this first map. Of course, the United Kingdom, even if they were to fail in their defense, would still have a better time. But Belgium, they are worried about survival right now, Hex. They're down to arguably their final two pushes, but getting Reels down again is Logix. This is a good start.
Logic's just been a terror on the back line, but turned out in play as Vaughn and Afox both go down to the United Kingdom swing back, and that is 3 quick kills in response. Spree trying to get his Tactical Visor, but launched up. That is 1,000 HP Winston in his face. He'll get nothing.
Logix is trying to bring Belgium over the finish line here. So many fights where he does get the first kill, is able to isolate out Reels early on. But even with these 6v5 opportunities, the UK is still in good position to go onto the weak points of Belgium and equalize things immediately. So Belgium has been very good at some of these openings, but very bad at capitalizing on it when they have the advantage.
Well, Logix is going to have the pulse bomb up now, but every time Logix gets a kill, it's like poking the United Kingdom snake. They just snap back and go for it as soon as that happens. Cruz opens it up with a beautiful entry, a support kill. He's able to take down Bode, and I think that's just time to retreat.
Right now, it is absolutely time to retreat, though. Brudor moving in, Rock'em Sock'em into the corner, but might not matter as Cruz slices and dices into the back. That will certainly end this push here for Belgium, but they're down to their final 8 seconds right now, Hex. They cannot back out, but they no longer have a team to contest.
Cruz is not a bad Genji for a former Lucio, I'll tell you that much right now. Bode's back in here, he's going to transcend, but just a little bit of stall as Boombox able to take down his counterpart, and just every time, the United K strategy to deal with Logix was, if he kills us, go fight. We're just not going to deal with Logix, he's that good, but if he starts doing something, then go fight.
Well, oftentimes when Logix would get those early kills, we'd have to invest key resources. A lot of his blanks, usually his rewind. So there is sort of a sweet spot there where Logix can't fight as effectively as he would like. So if you know that Logix used all of his cooldowns to get 1 kill, and you know that Belgium is really relying on Logix to make those opportunities, why not counter dive in and try and even things out right there?
Belgium has fantastic individual players, veterans of the scene who've been around since the very earliest days of Overwatch. They haven't had that much time to play together, and some of that came to bear here, where ultimates would be used after the fight was essentially lost. When they'd lost 2 people very early, a support ult would come in. And yes, you have sound barrier, but it's still 4v6. Some of that coordination, not quite there yet, because Belgium just simply hasn't had the time to play together.
That was the case when we talked to Belgium. There was conflicts in regards to other teams they were playing on. They found it difficult to get that practice time in, and as you mentioned, they have those crucial individually talented players, but they're running into a very tough challenge right now in the United Kingdom, where really they have both. They have incredibly good players, household names, and they've had time to practice and get on the same page.
Well, so we mentioned it as well, that the UK might be the most confident and/or cocky team in the tournament. And while the US has this kind of quiet confidence where they're just focused in and they don't really care what the outside world thinks of them, UK has been pretty loud about how good they are. It's been super. No one's having more fun at the World Cup qualifiers than the United Kingdom.
Look, the UK has an aura, right? Even the last few days here where we've been in and around the hotel, you feel a chill up your spine, then you just see the UK team walking together, laughing, having fun. These are the guys right now that really enjoy the opportunity to be here, absolutely have something to prove, and so far, they have been very impressive in their initial showing here against Belgium.
The Christopher duo keeping them very loose. They're definitely enjoying themselves. There's no nerves on the side of the United Kingdom team, and they feel very confident that they are coming out, that they are going to BlizzCon.
For them, it wasn't even a question in their mind. They told us, just looked us straight in the eyes and go, we're going to win this. And this is a team that they feel like they've also been a little bit underestimated, so we'll see just how they do throughout the group stage. But right now, they have Belgium to worry about, and they're off to a good start.
Belgium, oddly enough, picking right into the United Kingdom's hands. United Kingdom's favorite control map has been Ilios, one of the few teams who mentioned Ilios. You know, I'm a fan of it because I love the Ruin stage. Hopefully we get to see the Ruin stage, get some Sombra and Widow up there now, but we're going to kick it off here. In Belgium, their most success was with Pharah and Mercy together. So I think this is a good opening gambit at the very least.
This is also a very good stage to run the Pharah Tracer combo where the Tracer can really hug near the coastline. It can make it difficult to really get in on the Pharah when the Pharah is that far out. Also, Logix is a master of getting early kills, and control maps in general are a Tracer playground, more so than even the other types, where a good Tracer can really work the map to her advantage.
Right. Also, you just want to get Cruz off of the Genji. He had 4 elimination Dragon Blades twice in the last map. If you can get him off Genji, that's great, but it has been Boombox and Christopher combining for 3 early on, and this fight is over before it even begins.
This fight also doesn't make a lot of sense, given how we've seen successful Pharah comps go.
Yeah.
They fought in the underpass over there where there was cover from the Pharah rockets, and the Pharah was very easily attackable. If they had taken that fight nearer to the point, Spree would have had more room to work with, and also it would have been more difficult to get on top of him. So Belgium just did not take that fight where they needed to, and the United Kingdom was right there at the punish.
I absolutely agree, and maybe that's again a part of not practicing together enough. It's akin to fighting out of sightlines when you have a Widow on your team. You're essentially fighting 4v6 because half your team can't contribute. We'll see if they can rectify that issue. They are still fighting in the same area, but not sending them in all the way. But again, a support lost on the entry for Belgium.
The UK is very happy to fight here.
Right.
They absolutely will take every fight in this enclosed area because Spree does not have the opportunities he's looking for there. And then the UK, when they are not worrying about the Pharah as much, are able to just collapse with their tanks and suffocate Belgium when they're gasping for air. So right now, UK in full control of this round.
You know what I do when it rains? I go inside. So when justice rains from above, I put a roof over my head as well. And I don't understand why they're just not fighting out in the open. Force the fight where it needs to be. And also, I think one of the best spots for a Pharah would be outside the edge of the lighthouse. It's so hard to deal with it, and you have natural cover.
You indeed, but this time Logix able to get in on Boombox, able to end that threat. A 5-on fight here for Belgium. They have a Resurrection Reserve. This is the best chance they've had all round long, but Logix goes down. Mikey able to take him down early on, and the Resurrection must come in now to give Belgium a shot.
It's a good Resurrection, but it really only gives them a one-man advantage. They need to capitalize on it, but Mikey has been a good surprise for us. I was, again, very doubtful of his Tracer. He has shown up absolutely huge for this team. Really, the only one getting much done at all for Belgium is Logix. Silver lining here, they should have one more fight, and they have a treasure trove of ultimate abilities.
This is sort of a litmus test here for Belgium. With all the resources they have available, if they're not able to make something happen with this, there's a problem. They might have to get wrecked by the Dragon Blade, but oh my goodness, the Samurai comes up for Avox and only hit Avox. He did not share his music, and that is not working out well at all for Belgium as Cruz goes right through, deals with the people who wanted that protection, and now the UK might be taking this first round.
Well, Avox had to get to the points, and so he wanted to use his ultimate before he died with it. He was the only one out there able to touch the point, so that's why you saw what you did there. I think the biggest issue is your Pharah Mercy wasn't even able to get Cruz to switch. And Cruz on his Genji, it's his best hero by 1.5 miles. We've seen all the damage he can do on it. Not as good on 76, at least you're eliminating part of that threat. They weren't even effective enough to force a hero switch. That's bad.
The problem here, again, is that there's areas where Pharah can go that are very good for her on the offense and very good on the defense. And one of those areas in these different maps, whether it be on Ilios or Oasis, is that you go to the coastline and you make it a real problem to get on the Pharah while she still has full ability to see.
Right.
Belgium was just not taking that fight in a good area for them. And the UK, to their credit, they knew where they wanted the fight. They drew the fight over there, and it was surgical.
So even on this map, on the right side of your screen is where you should see the pharmacy. Behind the lighthouse, use that cover out over the ocean on the right side of your screen. Now, undercover, where you should not see the pharmacy, but that's where United Kingdom's going to try to force the fight.
And that's where they're going immediately. They want to draw Belgium in here again. They are using this protection from the rockets, as it were, to really put Belgium in an awkward position. And Belgium, for now, they're still fighting more in this area, but this time perhaps a little bit further back. But Brudor didn't get the memo. He was really far out, gets punished, and now the UK can really dive in on Belgium.
Yeah, Boombox, another initiation kill, which has been his signature move throughout several tournaments. The last 6 months really exploded onto the scene. And a couple bit of cleanup there as they bully Senpai back. United K will grab first point here. And on control maps with this large area of a capture point, that first capture is absolutely crucial. Going to be difficult for Belgium to evict all of the UK players off the point and regain control.
And don't forget, right now, Belgium is on the hot seat. If they don't take this round, that's going to be it. It will be a quick 2-0 for UK in map score. So Belgium, the time to strike really is now. Spree has built up the barrage. It's been a better fair round here so far, even without the pickoffs. He's done decent damage. Now he has to look for the right situation to drop that barrage in and give Belgium an opportunity.
That's really good to have spotted out there, but it is Cruz with the blade. He already dashes through Brudor. He's going to take out both tanks, and now there's no real meat on the ground for them to take this back. They're just going to try to get on the point. They have to sacrifice lives. This push, though.
Belgium now heading into what will likely be their best window. You take a look at the ultimate situation. Yes, they will have to weave in and through the double support ultimates of the United Kingdom right now, but they have a decent reserve of their own. If you're going to get hero play from, say, Logic to Spree, now is the time.
What United Kingdom doing reminds me a little bit of how the United States played. They're just being aggressive on their defense. They're not waiting for the other team to set up. If they feel that they have a window and an ultimate where they can win a fight with one ult, they're doing it.
Oh my goodness, Boombox finds Logics in the beginning. That hurts Belgium horribly. They have to go in 5v6. They don't have a great opportunity to use their ultimates. Maybe they use a Resurrection to bring this even, but no, they go for the reset. Everyone into the hole.
A little Sparta pit action there that we've seen happen time and again. But this is signature Boombox. He gives them more 6v5s no matter what team he's on, more than any other Zenyatta. He starts it out with a kill. Most Zens are incapable of doing what Boombox can do. He is a special player.
Well, will Belgium go into halftime with a bang or a whimper? They use the early resurrection to bring back Spree immediately, so they still have the 6v6. All ultimates are on deck as Belgium tries to change their fate. Cruz out of the fight early on. It's a better start for Belgium, but not one yet. UK striking back with a sound bear of their own. They are still not giving up ground.
There's a nice chase on the Cruz because he was actually going up and very low, still back and forth right now. And taking Boombox out of the fight, also a very big deal. The UK is going to throw some ultimates at this just to make sure they at least get to 99%. And what Christopher can do here is maybe stall it out long enough to bring his team back in. But wow, he gets a kill out of it.
He can do more than just stall it out. He can take down Logic, who's the heart of Belgium. United Kingdom coming back in. The cleanup coming in from Cruz. That's not a sword, that's a broom. And it sweeps Belgium right off of the map. The United Kingdom 2-0 to start this out.
We've seen Primal Rage be so impactful, not only as a stall mechanism to bring the rest of your team back and to stay alive, but also during those stalls nowadays, we're seeing them get kills out of it. People have become so much better at Primal Rage of using it for the damage-dealing force it can be.
And for the UK, again, they told us that they are going to BlizzCon, and they have looked very good here so far, where whatever angle you want to look at, whether it be their tank play or their DPS play, everyone has stepped up for this UK team. And to break that down a little bit more, let's bring it back to our desk.
Thank you so much, guys. And oh man, I tell you, the United Kingdom is looking fantastic. Reinforced, you have to be happy if you are the 6 men that are on that stage right now.
Yeah, for sure.
They're playing lights out Overwatch.
Also pretty dominant display, I have to say. We're going to check out some highlights of Cruz, who we highlighted before the game. He was in his Genji. I mean, he's famous for his Genji. Yes. Truly so good. But Belgium, they had a niche pick, right? They threw out the Pharah Mercy, and that worked out pretty well for them. They got stuck on Umbani, and they had to swap off, and then Cruz basically got back into it again. And Ilios was pretty much the same of the pretty much the same of the same, really.
Yeah. Well, actually, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the replays there in just a second and break it down further for us here.
Yeah, and this is where we see Cruz just going off with the Dragon Blades. Pretty much, yeah. Every time they secured a point, it was due to Cruz just pulling out the Dragon Blades. I mean, they pretty much ended Numbani with a free 30 time. It's pretty much just due to Cruz.
God.
So sad to see a Fox switch off that Torbjorn. I really thought today was going to be the day.
No, today's not the day.
No, but we also saw Mikey on the kill feed and Boombox. It was really hard for Belgium to really focus the threat there because you have Cruz, right, who's outperforming. You have Mikey, who's posing such a massive threat, and Boombox not even having to worry about Logix because either he kills him himself or Logic loses the Tracer 1v1s against Mikey. So overall, that was really tough for Belgium.
Yeah, it seems like Logix is the player that I'm really counting on for Belgium to come through here, and they countered him with their own aggression. They ran right past him in the opposite direction.
Yeah, and here we see a replay of Spree, actually. This is why it didn't work out as well on Ilios. Belgium took these battles indoors, really, and Spree really has no opportunity whatsoever to win this fight, slinging the damage. So that's why you kind of saw UK putting out the damage much better in that case.
ZP was so right. It wasn't a sword, it was a broom. And that was definitely tough to watch, especially with the way that, Cruz, I mean, he really wants to make a statement here. And funny enough, we actually did get an opportunity to catch up with the squad from the United Kingdom, and they had some very interesting thoughts. Let's go ahead and check it out.
What we do better than most teams is like our synergy, honestly. We're all great friends, came together, got along with each other really well. So our coordination in the game is really good, I believe.
The biggest strength of our team is definitely our communication and strategy. I think it's probably fair to say that there'll be other teams at the group stage which have better individual players, but I have no doubt in my mind that the way we communicate and work as a unit is what will get us to BlizzCon.
We've got a lot of individually skilled players, people that are known within the scene, like Boombox. Got a lot of vocal players as well, that really helps in games.
I personally am very excited to represent Team UK. I missed out last year, so it's really nice to be able to get the opportunity this year.
There's like a stigma around UK players that were not very good. I definitely want to prove those wrong. South Korea is a very, very strong team. I'd love to play them.
I think if you can take the first map, it becomes super important over a 4-game series. The ability to ride the momentum and potentially tilt your opposition can often become a really important factor. We have set strategies for the first fight in the first point of every single map, so we're definitely going to be well prepared to start things off on the right foot.
Looking to go as far as possible. I really want to make it to BlizzCon because I've never been to BlizzCon before. But yeah, just looking to dominate our games, win as many as possible.
I think everyone on Team UK's goal is absolutely to make it to BlizzCon.
I don't want a single loss. Yeah, it means a lot to me being here in LA. I've never been before, being in Santa Monica, playing the World Cup. Honestly, I want Team UK to be remembered for beating Team USA at their own event. That's what my goal is. That's what I want to play. I want to come first in our group and play Team USA and knock them out, of course.
The ability to fly across the globe to play a video game professionally has always been a dream of mine. And I'm hoping to continue that for as long as possible. And that will probably mean winning our group and qualifying for BlizzCon.
They hear from the UK squad. By the way, Reels with just straight stunting on fools with the shades. I gotta say, man, I love it. It's so good.
The confidence.
Yeah, the confidence is key.
He looked good, he knows.
Yeah, he knows what he's working with, respect. Okay, so, Zoe, going into game 3 here, the UK, they are riding a high right now. They feel fantastic. Who's your player to look out for?
Mikey. Mikey has been impressing me the most. I think the casters have also been mentioning that he's not necessarily known for his Tracer play, he's known for his Pharah play, but him going toe-to-toe against Logic and actually defeating Logix in many Tracer 1v1s with the help of Boombox as well. Was absolutely amazing. He hit some incredible pulse bombs, and I want to see more of that.
Yeah, there were a lot of questions about Mikey A coming into this event. He's certainly showing up here, and I do agree with you wholeheartedly. To go up against a Tracer of that magnitude on Logix and thrive the way he is, fantastic stuff. Rachel, what about you?
I'm keeping an eye on Spree. Spree's the one that's making the boldest choices here. He's switching out. He brought us the pharmacy last match. He's got some creative stuff up his sleeve. So I think that Belgium is kind of going to live or die by the success of his creative choices.
So Spree, your player to watch in this
Spree.
one. I like that one. Any thoughts, Reinforced, before we go to a break?
Yeah, I'm going to look out for Spree here. The Pharah Mercy worked out for Belgium for sure, and if they can carry up the momentum with that Pharah Mercy combo, I think they can maybe take a map or 2 here.
All right, well, guys, we're going to go to a break. When we come back, though, we're going to see how all this will conclude games 3 and 4 just over the horizon. Will it be Horizon? Oh, we don't know, but we'll see you guys in just a few.
You're on fire, Al.
Great.
The Overwatch World Cup is brought to you by Omen by HP, T-Mobile, and Blizzard Entertainment.
If you want to stay on top of your game, then you need T-Mobile, America's best unlimited network. We've doubled our coverage, so you can stream the Overwatch World Cup where you are. Now share every epic team res and victory in more places than ever before. That's another reason why T-Mobile is America's best unlimited network.
Always remember that power is a double-edged blade. One side light, the other dark. It calls to you when you are most desperate. When victory seems worth any sacrifice. There is a price to be paid for such a gift. And many eagerly accept the bargain. The righteous and the meek may recoil at its cost. But they have no vision. Power alone is not to be feared. Fear instead those who wield it.
Welcome back, everyone, as we get ready for game number 3 here at the 2017 Overwatch World Cup Los Angeles group stage. We have a very intense matchup between the UK and Belgium currently taking place at this very moment. The UK up 2-0. Now, let's see what Belgium's pick will be as we get ready for map number 3. Let's send it over to your commentators. It's going to be the one and only ZP and Hexagrams.
Thank you very much, Golden Boy. We are back here with the UK versus Belgium, and Hex, the UK looked nothing but dominant in the first half of this group.
They looked pretty good, is an understatement, I would say, and I think Belgium knows that they're up against a tough task. I think the desk nailed it on what they need. We need something out of Spree, although I think if I'm Belgium right now, I might even go for something even more unorthodox. We know Spree as an amazing Zarya, and Zarya's come a little bit back into vogue. You can see it. You know, maybe you run Zarya and give Logix an allied shield, give him a second more long to do those duels. Maybe try something different is all I'm saying.
What I would really like from them is that when you get an early pick-off with Logix, which he was able to get very frequently, just disengage, because it's been very clear that the United Kingdom, they know when they lose some of the Logix, and they immediately go to engage the equalize. You can sort of prey on that and know that that's what they're going with. Give Logix time to recharge, don't lose anyone, and then go in with the true 6v5, rather than letting the UK equalize as much as they have been.
Well, we are going to Lunar Colony. Golden Boy called it. That's why he's a national treasure. We are headed out here for Assault. United Kingdom is up 2-0 in the set. Belgium trying to just take a map as we continue on here. I mean, right now, both teams are kind of queued up. They've got a Widow on one side for Belgium. Logix, I don't think he's going to run Widow. But if they feel they really need to try something different, then that's the time. He is their best hit scan player, but he's so good at Tracer. You're giving up so much by taking him off that hero.
Not only that, but if you were going to run a Widow, when you want a really distracting Tracer in the back line,
helps, yeah.
That would make those opportunities for Widow, where it's hard to really respect the Widow sight lines when you're running to cover your own butt from the Tracer just chasing you in that direction.
Absolutely. Well, the United Kingdom is set up on defense, so they're not going to be switching out, and Logix predictably does go back to Tracer, thankfully. Defense, going to run a Sombra here. Sombra, defense, Assault, they all go hand in hand, ZP.
No doubt about it, and for those who like seeing Boombox with his Zenyatta Orbs, fear not, his Sombra is also pretty good. We'll see how it holds up here against this Belgium Assault coming in, and For those who dreamed of Widow, you might have to dream a bit longer, as Logix will be moving in here on the Tracer.
Maybe on the second point. Widow's second point can be very good. Both teams poking back and forth at each other. Spree, of course, is not really the greatest map to run the Pharah Mercy here. They're just going to rotate around. He's going to be on 76. This has kind of been a strategy for both teams. You just let them in on one side, and then you finally duel across the space of the point.
And Belgium is approaching this a little bit differently than some of the other teams here, where rather than going in from the right side, they're taking the solar approach from the left, looking to poke, looking to make some room, and now they're starting to put people on that point. They almost have a tick already, but that's going to cause UK to start diving in. Christopher, though, has to give his life for some of this pressure. It's 5-on-5 as the fight starts breaking down.
Well, now it is generally in favor of the defense when you get kills like that, but the next couple kills are going to be so impactful. Speaking of, Spree takes himself out of the fight. He's done that on Pharah, and now 76. He's very good at taking Spree out of the fight. It's Spree.
Spree should probably stop playing with explosives, but Logic should definitely keep playing with explosives. Able to find Smex into the back, and now Belgium able to secure control at this point. It was a little bit rocky in the beginning, and the UK did buy themselves some room, but it just was not enough. Now Belgium working with some momentum. The problem is that even though they took the fight, the UK actually has some very good ultimates here to really stabilize as we go in.
You know that when you're pushing into a last point on Assault, there's a high likelihood that you're going to get EMP'd. The question is, how do you play around it? Do you spread people out? Do you come in from all angles? Do you try to flank? Do you force it out? There's the EMP right off the bat, and Bod goes down.
Early EMP here, setting the UK off on a good foot. They get 3 kills off of that EMP, and that will be it. They get to save the rest of the resources. They did invest attack visor there, but still completely okay. Belgium now going to have to get to work on the puzzle of taking the second point here on Horizon.
After you get EMP'd in a fight on Assault last, your next push is your best push. Because you know that it's unlikely they're going to have EMP up again, and in this case, they definitely will not have EMP on defense because they've switched off the Sombra. So it's a nice move actually from UK to switch off it, knowing you're not going to have EMP, and Sombra is more of a utility hero.
Well, now if you go in really quickly and you still think there's a Sombra, you could be facing Boombox, but Belgium, they're going to dive right in. Transcendence is out. They think this is their time. Spree, looking for room, has the visor in reserve, waiting for the time to use it. Plenty of room here over the top, but while this is going on, Bode's going to die in the back. 5-on-5 right now. That's not great for an offense that really needs to be as perfect as possible.
No, not at all. Spree doing a good job of holding on to this. Now here comes the tactical visor, but met in turn by a sound barrier. A beautiful play by the Lucio, waiting to the last second, and now the cleanup is there for the United Kingdom as Cruz, Boombox, and Mikey all combined for 4 eliminations. Belgium has to reset. The bad thing is they used a lot on that entry.
They used quite a bit on that entry. I mean, at the very least, I think the tac visor for sound barrier trade at the end, that's pretty okay. But now we have a swap up coming out here from Belgium where SCP seeing Bode go to the Ana. Doesn't necessarily have a Genji the combo with here, so this is where maybe you're going to be looking for Nano Boost on the Soldier, Nano Boost on the Winston. In any case, Belgium really has to figure out how they want to attack this right now as they lose Spree immediately.
That really can't happen. That means that this push is all but over already. You see the retreat there. Not a big, strong chase from UK because you don't want to give them a body back in return. It just completely stalls the fight out when you lose your PKS like that, especially on a map like Lunar Colony where 76 and even a Widow can be so good because the offense is given natural high ground, much like Hanamura. So you want those high ground heroes who excel to stay alive. So Spree going down early, terrible.
Not good at all right now for Belgium. They do fully retreat. They recognize that they need all 6 when they move in before they start investing resources. Now Logix gets to work. Gets here onto the point, looking for a bit of harass, and Belgium drops the beat. They're going to commit even harder here, but United Kingdom, now they answer in turn. The Transcendence is out, and Cruz brings out the blade. Takes down AFOX early on, and that should be more than enough for the UK to hold on this push.
Yeah, a pretty underwhelming Blade from Cruz. Only 2 eliminations there. He's used to getting 4 and 5. That Blade has to still be hungry. This is a nice tactic to stagger the pilot Diva. Once out of mech, not very dangerous, and now she cannot even rejoin her team and spawn. Cruz mercifully sends Senpai back home.
Christopher really just wanted to have a conversation there. He wanted to use his words rather than violence, and unfortunately, not only was Senpai not having any of it, either was the rest of the UK team. But that stagger does buy the United Kingdom even more time, as Belgium, though they have 3 minutes, they've seen a lot of time waste away here already.
The upside for Belgium is that during one of their pushes, they did get 33%, which will not revert back onto the point. So if they can take another couple fights like that and do it piece by piece, you actually can finish the map. You don't have to have this game-winning push, but you do need to get a little bit each time. They have a lot of ults to work with.
Belgium right now moving in. Bruder, though, getting really tagged early on, able to back out, but his back out signals the entire retreat of the Belgium team. They're going to go at this again. It's a good disengage, given the fact that he was very likely to just fall there.
It was very good. I think we might see the nano boost onto the Soldier 76. The tactical visor, of course, gets buffed up to do so much more damage, but they've been holding on, waiting for that right time. Once one goes up, does not find itself in elimination.
The tank front line is down. The UK, they only have to invest really much more. Yes, Logix is able to get down the Diva, but what does it matter? You don't have the meat on the ground to actually get onto the point here. Logix, I appreciate the heroics, but the UK looking very strong right now, and they will clean up the rest of this with ease.
It's similar to what was happening a little bit on Numbani, where Belgium had a plan, and then the communication wasn't necessarily there, because after they lost those key individuals on the front line, that meat on the ground, so to speak, as you said, they still invested the nano boost and the tactical visor together. Those are ultimates which should close out and win a fight. They do not have them any longer.
You don't use those fights to struggle, you use those ultimates to win. And now the UK in a great position. 1:45 left on the clock. Cruz off on an adventure right now. Hex holding on to Dragon Blade, flanking to the side. He dashes right in, takes down Spree, and now he might not even have to dirty his blade.
It's not even really Spree's fault. You don't expect that Genji from behind like that. This is twice now that Cruz has been in stealth mode, cruise control behind the team, and gets that initial pick. And taking down Spree like that has ended fights twice now for them. And the great thing about it is you end a fight without having to use one of your ultimate abilities. The United Kingdom economy has been much stronger throughout this map.
No doubt about it, and as a result of that, you take a look at what they have going into what could be the final fight here. They are loaded for bear. Many options to win this fight. Belgium, they really have to hope for a miracle self-destructor now, but the United Kingdom, they're gonna look to open things up the bank. Self-destruct comes out, zones Belgium back, and now Belgium, they drop the beat and go in. Looking for their opportunity here. The United Kingdom, they like some music too, a sound barrier of their own, darting in and around, and now Cruz with a great opportunity to drop the Dragon Blade here if he wants to.
But Christopher completely shutting them out in this room. They stick him in a room, and then Cruz goes in with another triple elimination blade. Again, under par for him. He's used to 4, but still, that ends the fight. Only 30 seconds left. They get no more progress. And still, United Kingdom saved a couple ults for the next one.
The stagger is huge right now. Normally, it's a bit of a time loss, but this could deprive Belgium of a full 6-man attempt at the end. Finally, Senpai goes down, but he's not going to be able to get back here in time. Belgium will have to engage with only 5 right now into a fully loaded United Kingdom team. This is brutal. They need a miracle.
It's got to be Logix, Bode, and Spree. They all have to execute ultimates perfectly, and they're under pressure to do so. Their tank is now out of this fight, though.
Christopher, the welcoming party here. We do have a late nanovisor coming in. Spree looking for anything right now and is simply oppressed by the tanks of the United Kingdom. They don't let him get the targets he's looking for. Overtime ticking down, but this is looking like a monumental defense from the UK, and it is.
Christopher and Cruz with great synergy outside of the game and inside the game as well. If you can get your Genji and Winston on the exact same page like that, the softening up from the Tesla or the soften up from a dash through, one of them finishing the other's play. That's why you see 3 eliminations from Christopher, 3 or 4 eliminations from Cruz. Cruz's Dragon Blades are on point today.
You like marketing this as some sort of teamwork between the United Kingdom, but the reality is we've seen Christopher and Cruz interact with each other. This is competition within the competition. Neither wants to be outshone by the other. They love each other, but they also do not want to be second to them.
Oh, they have that very typical relationship of making fun of each other because they love. Very similar to us.
Is that what it is, Hex?
No, not
really. I thought it was just, I thought we were just grumpy.
Well, yeah, sometimes. It really depends on the time of day. If it's before coffee, then yes, that is the case. But throughout the day. Well,
coffee is lifeblood.
Yes. United Kingdom, a very simple path to victory for them. Just finish out the map. Just capture second.
United Kingdom.
Actually, even less than that. They just have to get a little more progress.
1 tick on second, I believe.
I think
no,
it's
a
2.
little bit more than a tick. It's like,
yeah.
It's in between 1 and 2. It's because if you take a look at the top middle, it's 44.9% for Belgium. So it's in between the 33 and 66%. Either way, they don't have to go nearly as far they have a very clear victory condition ahead of them.
You know you can't speak to me in numbers. I don't understand numbers or math or calculators. I don't even think calculators exist. I think it's a lie.
Well, we see a little bit of dance moves coming up there from Logix. He's still feeling pretty happy despite the fact that the United Kingdom has been coming on awfully strong. And I'll tell you what, for Belgium right now, their best victory condition here is to hold the United Kingdom here on point A, not let it get to point B, create a strong defense in the beginning, and you only have to hold for 4 minutes.
Point A holds can be difficult, but you did mention the nice caveat there is that you do have a small time window that if you can hold 3 pushes, that's essentially the 4 minutes. So you're right, that is their best victory condition. To do so, they're going to have to stop Cruz's Genji, who's been getting so much damage early on.
Cruz right now looking for early poke damage. Belgium being highly aggressive in their defense, but could this be disaster? Spree caught out here early on. He's going to fall, and though Belgium has gotten a few kills, I don't know if this has gone in their favor, as Mikey able to clean up into the back, kill after kill for him, and though Logix is going in turn for Belgium, it's going to be difficult for Belgium's respawn to get here as the United Kingdom is reinforcing right now.
Mikey's still looking for just a little bit more and is going to team up with Christopher there and find a little bit more. This has been amazing for him. We talked so much in preparation about all of the great tracers in this tournament, and Mikey never came up. I think it might be time to include him in the conversation.
Mikey has been doing very well here, especially in this live environment. It has been very good to him as they pile on. The United Kingdom able to clean up the respawns coming in from Belgium, getting what they need into the back. UK starting off strong, and they will have tools at their disposal as they move into point B.
It's so important to have 2 threats, and Mikey has been that secondary threat. With him being a problem, they're not able to focus on Cruz. With Cruz doing all he is, they're not able to focus on Mikey, and both are reaping rewards.
United Kingdom, they could end this map right here, right now. They have the tools they need. Will they be able to execute? Right now, they're looking for positioning. Cruz waiting for the opportunity to drop the blade. They have a man advantage. Now is the time to strike. Cruz diving in, brings out the blade, and blade on blade takes down Senpai. A big kill from Cruz to start this out for the UK.
Senpai didn't notice him as Cruz came from his side, got him right there as Max able to get some cleanup as well. It is all in favor of UK. Still some stall coming down. Now the process takes up. It's getting there, and that is it. United Kingdom will take their 3rd map in a row.
You know, I don't even think Cruz needed to get that sleep dart reflect at the end, but it was stylish, and style points count in our hearts.
Well, for the UK too. I think Cruz is going to be telling Christopher, did you see that? Did you see the sleep dart I just reflected? Who's carrying this team? They're having a good time, and they are playing well on top of it, which just makes it all the more fun. But Cruz has been dominant on this Genji, and they have to find something, which is another reason that I might like to see Spree run a Zarya. A little more damage come through.
I agree with Spree running the Zarya just to check that a little bit, but the thing that's really worth knowing about Cruz's Genji is that it is one of the most patient Genjis in the game. Some Genjis are known for getting lots of mechanical kills off of really strong initiations, but for Cruz, though he's able to do that, what he is very calculating on when he brings out blades. There's not many situations for Cruz where he brings out the ultimate and it ends up in failure or just a hilarious Genji chasing someone down with nothing happening. No, he's brutal with his Dragon Blade usage, and that gets him 2, 3, 4 kills at a time, and Belgium has not had a great response to it.
Not at all. They need... the problem is you can't necessarily focus him because of the resurgence of Mikey, because of the other threats on this team. I think the teams that do very well in this kind of format are teams that have talent evenly distributed, where you can't simply take one person out of it. And I think that is more evenly distributed on the United Kingdom than perhaps it is on Belgium.
I definitely do not disagree, but we're heading back to Route 66, and it might not be the USA playing right now, but we could still get a little bit more America in our lives right now, X.
I've always got room for more America. And speaking of that, the United Kingdom does believe that they will dominate the US should they so meet in this tournament. They have talked about it at length, especially to us, as we are American. And of course, Cruz in the Meet the Team interview, not making any fans there in the local crowd, talking about how their only goal is to beat the United States.
I mean, they just want to punish the rebels. I mean, it's a few hundred years overdue, but that is their goal.
Yeah, the colonists, I believe they would call us. All right, Route 66, speed limit 35 miles an hour, but Cruz has been cruising through this team with his blades. Is it time for Belgium to just throw it all to the wind and try something unique, a curveball?
I would hope that they try something that they will feel will be competitive right now against the UK, because anything they've thrown at them so far really hasn't worked. But the problem is that we know that they didn't have as much time to practice with each other, so I'm not sure how deep their bag of tricks goes here. I think it might just be a case where we might see more of the same, but in their case, hopefully better execution.
I think that you hit the main point. Since they haven't had time to devise these individual strategies, we'll very likely see a situation where Belgium just calls, play your best player, play your best hero, let's try to get something going here and get some momentum. Of course, you don't want to go 0-4 in your first match, but they've not had an answer for the DPS. Christopher has also just been doing whatever he wanted.
Christopher had the run of it here, and here's the thing in terms of group stages. Here's if you go 0-4, you can still make a comeback on days 2 and 3, but you have no room for error. Even just getting one map right now for Belgium gives them a little bit more flexibility going into the later days of this group stage. Meanwhile, for the UK, they want as much as possible as both takes down Mikey early on. That's big for the defense.
That's when they were doing best on Numbani, is when Mikey was getting a little aggressive and they were able to actually punish him. However, the kill comes so early that they're still going to give up a lot of free push. Interesting, no Sombra out here, though. United Kingdom has run a very similar comp every single map they've been on, and that's Boombox taking down Senpai. Probably a right click around a corner, a charge shot from Boombox.
Bloodthirsty Zenyatta's all around right now, but for the UK, they're able to keep this payload moving. Belgium not feeling confident in their defense to be able to go in and stop this progress, which might limit them to only one major team fight here. So this is somewhat of a big win right now for the UK early on.
Spree's going to try to get some initiation though, but he finds himself all alone in the corner, and they turn this into a 2v1 very quickly as the D.Va shows up for the Genji attacking there, and that's, you can't get isolated like that. Cruz is able to clean up.
Cruz with the dash resets, quick cleanup, and an even quicker building of his ultimate. He's got a Dragon Blade up for this next fight right now, and this is huge for the UK because when you look at the second point of Route 66, this is not defender friendly. It is arguably the hardest stage of a escort map for a defense to hold, period. And now they have to do it against a turbocharged United Kingdom team.
You're going to go forward, look for a little bit of poke and damage, just leave that payload back behind as the door technology in Overwatch is ancient and those doors take a bit long to open. They will look for as much damage as they can, and they won that very first point with almost no resistance and having to use no ultimates at all.
Early Transcendence coming out here from Belgium. They try and take the initiative, but the United Kingdom, they respond in turn with the Transcendence of their own as Cruz brings out the blade, takes down his counterpart. It's 3 early kills here for the United Kingdom, and this train is not slowing down.
What I like there from Belgium, though, is they're tired of getting bullied around on defense and giving up ground. They've been on ice skates the whole time, getting pushed back. This time, they at least took the initiative to them. I think that's the first step in starting to win these fights. Don't let the UK always bring it to you. You have to decide when to fight on your own.
You have to do something to unsell the UK. The problem is that they're so mechanically good, where not only do you have DPS threats from their DPS, of course, but you always have to look out for Boombox at the Belgium. They're having difficulty dealing with all the threats, but now they roll out the gate. The sound barrier's in, but one good barrier deserves another. The United Kingdom, again, matching support ult for support ultimate, but they do it later, which gives them a window where they're protected and the other team isn't. 5-on-5 right now between both teams, and the United Kingdom still applying pressure as Christopher unleashes the beast.
They're simply outvaluing Belgium right now with the support ultimates. That later support ult is always a better support ultimate, and they've just been having a hard time as Belgium capitalizing on the support ultimate initiations because they don't necessarily have the clock that United Kingdom is going to have a counter support ult, and that's happened twice now. Transcend to transcend, barrier to barrier.
And part of that was that the way that defense has to re-engage there is that you have to use your support ultimate really early to get out of that tight choke point. It is difficult for a defense, even though Belgium looked a little bit better coming back out there, they're still on the back foot because of the nature of this map. And here comes Senpai, looking to equalize. The blade is out, but Christopher stops it right there.
Such a good reaction from Christopher. I've been so impressed with his Winston as far as protecting his team. He knows it's coming, goes back, knows exactly where that Genji's going to be because he plays with a top-tier Genji. Is able to blindly jump back and shut it down before too much damage is gone, and they turn that fight all the way around. Cruz able to dash through, taking out the supports towards the end. They've got 4:14 to close out the map.
That is an enormous amount of time for the final point here on Route 66. United Kingdom is very much playing with house money right now. They could lose 2 pushes in a row, and they could still set a very acceptable time. And Belgium, they have to find their inner grit right now if they're going to be able to deal with this, because a storm is still very much coming.
I really like what the United Kingdom is doing. This is similar to what they did on Numbani. You want to get it up the hill. That is the biggest thing about this first push. Get it up and around the hill. After that, you can lose a fight, but you don't want to be stuck at the bottom because giving that high ground up is bad.
Very much so. Mikey into the background right now. Being a distraction, throws up the pulse bomb, doesn't connect, it does! A-Fox out of there, so is Mikey for that matter, but a worthy sacrifice indeed as the UK is going to get the progress they need.
That's when you just type Worth in chat. You just hit a Kobe fadeaway there, and it's totally fine that you go down to it as well. But it is Christopher who does clean up the rest of that. He is nearing a Primal Rage. Primal Rage and Blade have been good for United Kingdom, both coming online. The support ults have to be there.
That is huge though. Boombox will get Logics early on the fight. That's what Boombox is known for, and he took down arguably Belgium's most valuable player. United Kingdom now on what could be a victory push. They force out the sound bear immediately as Cruz just lounging around here. Has the Blade at the ready, and he's gonna pull it out. This could be victory for the UK. Cruz looking for targets, not gonna get much in that Transcendence, but he forced it out as the United Kingdom is still very healthy on this push.
That's one thing that every Genji main will tell you, that the Blade did not fail if you force out support ultimates, but post-Transcendence, a dash through takes down 2. Cruz not done yet, he doesn't need a Blade, takes down a 3rd.
He doesn't need a Blade, he just needs dashes and a few shurikens. That's what he needs, takes down his counterpart. And though the UK team is a little bit more bloodied here, they are still making space. Christopher booping and bopping people around here as the United Kingdom respawns come in. They are not giving up anything as Cruz continues to dominate on this payload.
This man used to be the Lucio for a professional team, says he's got chops to play DPS and proving it right now, and regardless, they bought enough time to get everyone back into this fight.
Cruz has written novels directly to Uhex about his Genji,
That's true.
Those are good books indeed because he is still rocking it right now. And beautiful showing from Cruz, Dragon Blade to finish it out, and the United Kingdom, look at that man, he's happy.
There's the man himself, Cruise Control. They finish out Route 66. Doesn't even have like the things that hold the glasses on. He just holds them on with magic. That's how good Cruz is.
Cruz plays with his mind and also his hands and every other part.
It is, yeah, apparently. This United Kingdom team looking to walk the walk. They have certainly talked the talk. I've been very entertained by it.
United Kingdom, they're a fun bunch of guys.
They really
and
are.
So far, they are definitely living up to the reputation they have set out for themselves. And even though Belgium has had a few signs of life here and there, and despite real big heroics coming from Logics at points, Belgium has been able to rattle this team so far.
It really just does come down to the practice, and you can see it visually that the alt timings are just a little bit off, and those seconds in Overwatch mean absolutely everything. I did like the style that they tried to bring. They understood what the issue was, that they were just getting pushed back, and all the fights were happening on the United Kingdom's terms. So at least they tried to take fights on their own terms. One of the problems is, though, they didn't necessarily have the ult clock in their head to know they don't have a support. They were pushing into support ultimates. That never ends well.
It doesn't end well, though part of that does relate to how the United Kingdom is playing, where Belgium, they weren't able to get early mechanical kills except for when Logics was doing it for the most part. So I think Belgium felt under pressure to open up with their ultimates first, but if you can withstand that, you can always use your support ultimate a little bit later and put the fight in your favor.
United Kingdom looking to go 4-0 here. All they have to do is stop Belgium at any point on the map, and they will do just that. Belgium looking for some redemption, looking for just a little bit of motivation going forward, trying to pick up a map here.
Well, United Kingdom certainly looking very good right now. Belgium, if they want to take a map here, they are going to have to strike just as quickly as the United Kingdom did. They have very little margin for error, and we'll see if they can make a heroic comeback here as the United Kingdom looking fairly solid right now on this defense.
UK looking to be aggressive, and that's largely because they have the Sombra. Cruz off the Genji onto the Sombra. They're playing around that large health pack in the room, trying to get the ultimate up, and there it is. EMP is online.
Cruz right now building that very quickly, and it could be lights out for Belgium here in just a moment. Cruz creeping around, stalking, looking for his opportunity. He gets into the thick of it, and there it is. The EMP striking the vast majority of this Belgium team, and the follow-through is there. Smex just says, nerf this.
An enormous EMP hits nearly everyone there. The full cleanup, and that is a full team kill. They will get the one they lost. Christopher back into this fight. That's exactly what you want out of your Sombra. Belgium has to know that now is the time to strike, because if you give Sombra another fight, you're going to get EMP'd again.
Cruz just went up about 30% in all of 2 seconds there. They're using the hacked health packs to give him ultimate quickly. There is a timer right now in Belgium, a window that is rapidly closing as Cruz now up to 80%. The EMP is going to be ready here in just a moment, and if Belgium had a window, it's gone. Cruz is ready to turn off the lights once more.
He's very low, but Boombox again, he domes Tracers so often. Usually as a Tracer, you feel like you can win that fight, but not against Boombox. They don't even need the EMP. That is all bad for Belgium. Belgium's silver lining here. They've been banking up ultimates because they got EMP'd, couldn't use them. They need to be able to respond to the EMP. A lot of this is on both. Top level Zenyatta's can play around an EMP.
It's a silver lining, but it's also a thundercloud behind the silver lining, because the reality is that EMP is one of the ultimates in the game that doesn't really care how many ultimates you have. Cruz has the power in his own hands right now to ruin this Belgium offense, no matter how they want to engage it. The United Kingdom looking, they drop the EMP, and they dive right in, but the Transcends came out early. It's a good Transcends from Belgium that might keep them in the fight, but so far they're getting pushed back.
Well, it's a great play around. Bo did his job. He got it absolutely done. They're going to sound barrier this as well. The Visor will come out trying to deal with the Sombra, but she's just out of there. Meanwhile, Pulse Bomb has taken down Lucio. Spree, every time he pops his Visor, usually it's the Diva shutting down the Visor. It has been the Primal Rage shutting down Spree's Visors.
Well, when you're in a competition with Cruz, Hex, you gotta find ways to succeed and excel, and Christopher certainly very much finding that. And I gotta say, that's really bad news for Belgium, where when you get a really good Transcends to deal with the EMP, and you still lose the fight, I don't know what to say. That is a play that you probably should have been able to win. They're not able to do it here, and they're gonna have to deal with that EMP again here in just a moment.
The only thing that charges faster than EMP is Sinatra's Gravitrons. EMP ready up again. Cruz comes in here. He's got it. Hits most of everyone again, and of course, Bode falls shortly after.
This is brutal. Belgium down to their final minute here. This fight certainly not going to go into their favor. They get one more attempt here, Hex, to take a clean team fight and find a way through. But the United Kingdom, they have been an iron wall here so far.
There's been more time where they haven't been able to use abilities because of EMP than they have had abilities up. That's how bad this has gone for them. If they have any hope, they have to do it on this push, and even then, they're going to be in overtime at some point on this map. Spree down to Mikey to start this off. They have to retreat. They have to wait for 6.
And now, they didn't have a whole lot of time to work with to begin with. They were looking at overtime anyways as they were hitting the gate, but now it's going to be an even longer period of overtime. They wait for a full 6, but you know who's also waiting right now? Cloaked and ready to go. Here comes Cruz. EMP in reserve, has to back out early on. A slight window right now for Belgium, but Cruz is going to be coming right back in. Looking to come in over the top. The Transcends out from the United Kingdom, and they go in before the EMP. Might be a chance for Belgium, but the EMP does strike.
EMP does come in late, and they've traded out back and forth right now, but not as great as the EMP before. They pressured him out early, but now here it comes as Cruz puts on the damage post-EMP as the Sombra, and that is all she wrote for Team Belgium. Unable to get past first bet on Route 66, United Kingdom with a 4-0 statement.
We were talking about teams wanting to come in here and dominate. We saw earlier in the day that the United States lived up to what they were talking about. The United Kingdom has answered in turn with a great victory here over Belgium, operating on all cylinders. This team looks scary.
Absolutely. And how do you even start to answer? Take down Cruz, then Mikey's there. I mean, Mikey, my MVP. Of course, Cruz and Christopher dominated the kill feed, but Mikey, I think, was an unexpected joy.
Well, to break down the action and tell us just how much style Cruz had, we're going to be throwing it back to our beautiful panel of analysts.
Thank you so much, CP. I tell you, Cruz was styling and profiling like the nature boy Ric Flair. Woo! You know, anyone who got that reference, kudos to you.
I'm sorry.
And then again, though, people should know who Ric Flair is. I'm just going to say, right? You know who Ric Flair is.
What? I play Overwatch for a living. I don't have time for culture.
You're going pretty far when cruise control is right there.
Oh, no, Rachel. Well, you weren't in Australia.
I'll give her that one.
So
was that an Australia thing?
That was good. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, let's talk about this matchup here because, you know, the UK, they looked so dominant. Reinforce, got to pick your brain here as we take a look at some of the replays and highlights from that game. What were your major takeaways?
I mean, my major takeaway is that just the UK just turned up on all levels. Like all of their players individually, they just showed up. We're showing some replays of Smex here. I think that Smex is one of the players to highlight for this UK team. I mean, you look at Kuz going in with the Dragon Blades, getting kills. You look at Christopher going in with the Tesla gun, getting kills. But it's all due to Smex really, with his defense, Matrix usage, and laying in the damage as well. I mean, he's doing so much work for his team, and because of it, the Team UK manages to come off successful.
Yeah, they just managed to play to each other's strength there, really. And Boombox and Mikey, they effectively took out Logix time and time again. There were a lot of signature Boombox Zen moments I really enjoyed. And yeah, Mikey, as the cast has already said, as we already established here on the desk, he was a massive surprise, and he definitely has to be taken into account when we're talking about the Europe's best Tracer players.
Oh wow, he shot.
Yeah, nope. They were a dual threat, right? They were a dual threat that that Belgium just could not find a way to shut down there.
Yeah, I'm seeing shades of Brazil here in their match against Chinese Taipei, where we were expecting a lot from the Tracer, Logic in this case, and so was the enemy team. They are doing a lot of work just shutting down Logic, shutting down Spree, everything that we wanted to focus on as points of success for this team.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't really consider Mikey A to be this dominant Tracer he showed up to be today. Yeah. I mean, we thought Logix would win that battle for sure, that Belgium would rely on Logix throughout this fight, but I mean, Mikey A shut him down single-handedly, really, so a bit unexpected, very dominant.
It's just scary when you have this dual threat, right? You know,
it's almost triple threat. Actually, looking at Christopher and how he went in there on his Winston, go wherever Monkey wants to go, you know.
Is there someone we have forgotten about?
Hey, you got Boombox in there too, right?
Boombox. Then we got
Reels.
Yeah, Reels.
Great sound bearers, man.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, everything worked out well for them.
Yeah, no,
you know, every single player got a moment in the sun, and that's what's important. But for Belgium, though, they're going to have to, you know, reestablish themselves for tomorrow, get ready for the games, because it's only going to get more challenging from this point forward here. But guys, that's going to do it for that game. UK, they will be up 4-0 here, but now it's our final matchup of the day, and this is going to be a good one. It will be Germany facing off against Israel to close out the broadcast for day one. You're not going to want to miss it, and we'll see you in just a few.